Hi everyone and welcome along. On Tuesday we painted a Halloween wreath, so today it's only right that we do an autumn wreath. But this is an autumn wreath with a little bit of a difference. It's not full of acorn leaves, mushrooms, acorns and all that kind of thing. We are looking more at seasonal flowers and plants in the style that we painted our flowers last week, because I just think those colours can really work for slightly unexpected plants and flowers. It doesn't all have to be, like I say, the autumnal leaves every single time. So we've got a beautiful little array of flowers. We've got a butterfly ranunculus, we've got the echinacea flower I painted the other day, some rose hips, some extra little sort of sheaves of corn, and some extra little flowers, all resulting in a delicate little autumn wreath with a difference. So grab your paints and let's get started. I painted this piece last week, and I just love that celebration of autumn through the flowers. It's not all about oak leaves and mushrooms and pumpkins. I think, I want to do berries as well, which are a little bit more along the sort of hedgerow line. But yeah, I thought it might be really nice to do a simple autumn wreath with just a slightly different focus. So let's get some colours in the palette. Let's build a colour palette that we're going to want to use. So Moonglow is a gorgeous colour for this time of year. We'll get some burnt sienna as well, some yellow ochre. And then I've been enjoying Potter's Pink a little bit. It's been rather nice colour. But then it's important to have something a bit sort of more zingy. And I think Opera Rose and Pyrrole Orange are great additions to have in there. There'll be more colours as well, but I think that's going to be our general starting point. And I think I'm just going to take a size 0 brush and start painting and sort of see what happens, really. So let's begin. I started by just drawing with my compass a circle. My bit of advice to you when drawing wreath-shaped circles is go smaller than you think you're going to need, because honestly they can go on forever. So yeah, go cautiously. So I'm just sort of starting, just establishing my shapes, and I think I'm going to place in some berries. Yeah, okay, so get a bit of yellow in with my orange, and I'm going to do some of these nice little rose hip berries. And sometimes I do wreath painting where I sort of place in all the same thing and then place in all the same next thing. And then sometimes I like to just work my way around and feel kind of a bit instinctive about what I'm going to do. So I'm going to place in a Moonglow stem and just place in some lovely leaves. So not everything is going to be like a recognisable item. But what you need in a wreath is variation. So I'm going to put in my first flower, and I've just mixed up that Moonglow and yellow ochre to make a really interesting pale colour that I'm going to add a tiny bit of Opera Rose to make a gorgeous dusky pink. And I'm going to put in a sort of a kind of butterfly ranunculus. So I'll place in one up here as well. So just using my size 0 brush to sort of place in some lovely sort of slightly frilly and floppy petals. And I think I'm going to take some burnt sienna and just drop in some colour on it like that. So you can see the tones that we're starting to get. And I'm also now going to be able to start to place in some plants coming from the other direction, so I think I'll do some little sort of tufty dried corn coming from the other direction. And essentially what I'm doing is just building up the shapes, establishing some themes, some colours, and once we've got these all sort of painted in, we can then start to add a bit more detail, layers, glazes, but for now just enjoying painting in some very delicate colours. But let's put in a little echinacea, which I discovered recently. So we'll just put in some of the centres of the flowers. I think a lot of people forget how much new growth can happen in autumn. I certainly do. I always think about the fact that my garden is probably sort of stopping growing, but it's quite the opposite. And then I'm going to let those dry and pop in petals with this colour. But yeah, I'm just going to build up the shape using what I've created so far. Now I've got the basics painted in, I'm going to start layering up extra little details like the little echinacea petals. And once we've got all those in, we can let everything dry and then start to get lots of lovely little details in there. So you can see what I'm trying to achieve. I have painted all but one of everything on this wreath in a sort of a layer of detail, just to show you what I'm looking for. So let's start with this little butterfly anemone here. So I'm going to take the same petal mix I was using and I'm glazing a second set of petals shorter than the first, and then using some quite concentrated burnt sienna to establish that second layer of petals. Whilst I let that dry, I'm going to take a bit of the golden ochre colour and just use that to add a bit of definition to the wheat there. And what I've also found is that's quite a good one to just sort of drop in for a bit of fullness here and there. And it's also the colour I'm going to use for the start of my little sepals on my rosehip buds. Then for the sort of purpley leaf, I'm just going to take the same colour I used before, and this time I'm just going to glaze a layer everything's just getting a little bit more definition, basically. Right, let's see, what have we got next? We've got these. So I've put that little bit of ochre for the sepals, but I'm also going to take a little glaze of pyrrole orange to make those a little more exciting. It's basically the same technique as this, but just on a much smaller scale. Then for these petals, a little bit of pyrrole orange again. I'm doing this all with my 2/10 brush. And then using just some of the slightly sort of murky shadowiness from the palette to create that, and then a little bit of moon glow, not too much on the brush. And clean the brush off and just use that to there we are, sort of blend that in a little bit. And then I'm going to go back down and just have another look, and I need a little bit of this deep sap green that's got some alizarin crimson in it just to mute it slightly. That's going on the sepals there. And then the last thing we're going to do is just on this flower here, as long as it's dry, let's just do a little check. Just about, we can just about get away with it, I think. Little bit of moon glow. A few dots in the centre there. And there is your alternative autumn wreath. And you'll notice we've got those little bare branches of that little purpley twig sprig. That's great, that's what we want. We just want extra little bits here and there to help with the fullness of the wreath. And remember, you can always go back in and sort of, if you think there's maybe a bit of shape missing, if you want something extra in there, I find just have a look at what colour is not sort of obviously lurking in that little area and just place something in. And there you have a lovely autumn wreath, a little bit different this time. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to let me know how you got on with that one. Comment below, like the video, subscribe. All of that interaction is so vital for us as a channel, and we do not take it for granted. So thank you so much for every little bit of interaction and enjoyment that I hope you get out of these videos. So yeah, we will see you again next time. Bye!